Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me is Sridhar Chityala ji, and we're going to be talking about the new appointment, United States Ambassador to India, Sergio Gor. Let's welcome Sridhar Chityala ji. Sridhar ji, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel. How are you, sir?
Namaskar, sir. I'm doing very well, and I hope you are doing well as well. Why don't you drink a sip of water, Sriji, and then we should be ready to good to go.
Yes, sir. You keep going, sir. I forgot to bring my water bottle. That's okay. This is just an accident thing. No worries, sir. Let's talk about Sergio Gor. He comes very highly rated. He's supposed to have a very close connect with the president. Viewers, I have told you that some of the bodies that are deciding the policy in the Trump administration, it's packed with Pakistani friendly, sensitive, Pakistani leaning people. We have identified, at least Rajiv Malhotra ji has identified 88, and for India there are none. There's one nominal Indian American, but nobody knows what his stance is. So this is very important that all this clutter, all these things where the filters keep getting put, those things be removed, and that there's a direct connect. Sir, please talk to us. You know Sergey, so hopefully this will help things move along much better.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, folks, and good evening or good morning or good afternoon where you are. So what we want to cover with Sergio is on Sergio Gor is, who is he? Is number one. Number two is, what's his mandate? What's the mandate that's been given to him by Trump? And what are some of his own kind of connectivity within the Republican Party and many members of the administration within the current setup? And most importantly, how is he going to move the current tariff and other agenda? And finally, how is he going to converge on the trust deficit as is perceived to be? But you talk to Trump and Modi, they will say, no, there's no trust deficit, and I think we are ready to rock and roll. But always, everything boils down to when the deal is cut. When the deal is cut, then we know that things are moving. But so let's kind of, look, let's go through one item after the other. Will Sergio Gor be the new ambassador to strengthen U.S. ties? I use the word that will he be the bridge that bridges the gap between Trump and Modi? My belief is that he is, knowing him and his kind of general people skills and disposition. Next slide. So who is Sergio Gor? Well, he is the current U.S. ambassador, is now been sworn in, handpicked by Trump. He is known as the Trump's most trusted and go-to man. He played a very significant role during the 2020, post-2020 elections. He was the vice chair or the chairman of the Finance Committee in the current administration. During the current period, he served as the director of Presidential Personnel Office, which is a very important function, from January to October. Why November? November, he gets nominated, and I think he takes over his position early January. He's already visited India, and he has met with, External Affairs Minister, National Security Minister for Defense. He's also had direct message and direct communication with Prime Minister Modi. Okay. And then he also served many of the past luminaries, current luminaries like John McCain, Rand Paul, and I talked about the Finance Committee. He also has served as an advisor to Trump Jr. That should give you one or two indications. Don Trump Jr. is very well respected by his father. Who knows? He could be the person succeeding the President Trump. So from a kind of paraphernalia point of view, he seems to carry tick boxes, and this selection also indicates the importance that Trump and his team have placed on the U.S.-India relationship, notwithstanding the fact that all criticisms that's been levied thus far, what has Trump done and has he got it wrong, etc. Okay, next slide. Okay, what's his mandate? What has he been told to do? Okay, he says the way you craft policy is through access and rapport. You need the person, you need connectivity, and then you build a rapport. That seems to be the and to bridge the Modi-Trump divide. That seems to be the new mantra, because Gor is supposed to be a people's man. I can narrate a couple of incidents, but I'll leave that aside for the time being. I've also known him, and my expectation is that through Charlie Creek Turning Point programs, he's a go-to guy. Okay, what's he trying to do? He's been told to bridge the trust deficit and to have direct dialogue and facilitate direct dialogue. By the way, this is supported by Marco Rubio. Usually the dialogues happen through External Affairs Minister and the Secretary of State. But here, Marco Rubio has consented that, given the important nature of the relationship, that there is a direct dialogue between him and Trump, and it carries Trump's message to Modi ji. Okay, so then Gor's role is also on policy reset. This aggressive, the oil tariffs, and most importantly, this notion, this constantly being portrayed, whether it is as what's his name, Sree has pointed out, whether the Pakistani lobbies within the administration continuing to try and press the message that he intervened and brought about a truce because Pakistanis have nuclear weapons. All I can say is we have covered this at least in a couple of programs through DJI, and we discussed it, that the 𝗔𝗠𝗙𝗎𝗍 Munir carries a very strong relationship with Michael Kurilla, who was the head of Center Command, and he in turn has a relationship with Hoxha. So therefore, whether that has played in conjunction with some of the names that we also presented through DJI, who play an active part in the policy making within, which supports pro-Pakistan efforts. So we will see many of these things, cut through with Gor's presence in India. Okay, as I mentioned, from proximity to policy building, this is not my words. These are the words of another confidant who has written about Gor. He says policy making is no longer in isolation. It is about proximity and reach. You convert that to policy and you build a communication bridge. So that's his mandate: build a communication bridge, start the engagement process, have a direct relationship and engagement between Modi and Trump, using him as the conduit. I don't know whether he will use Dowell or whether he will use External Affairs Minister as the other channel, or Modi himself will say, okay, let's cut through and let me talk directly to Trump. All of these things are his mandate, and basically to get the thing back on trail. Okay, India-US trade relationship today, despite all the mumbo jumbo and the rumbles that are going on here, they say they are almost near a breakthrough. Two big items have been Russian oil, and the second has been the agro imports. Those two have been the throttle points. But having said that, everybody agrees, including Marco Rubio, the objective is to deepen the India-US strategic relationship. $500 billion bilateral trade. Today it's around $200 billion, $500 billion bilateral trade by 2030. Remember, India is the largest exporting partner to largest exporting partner is United States, close to about $140 billion worth of exports, or $120 billion worth of exports, and $80 billion with a deficit of $40 billion. And also FDI, United States is the third largest FDI on the markets. I think they're probably the largest direct investor into India. But the other important thought process here is around, in many of the areas like space, defense, energy, there is a much deeper cooperation between India and United States. I think one of the things that we may see again is whether Quad would be resurrected, And then the I2U2 corridor, which commenced and which kind of tapered off. This is India, UAE, and then United States, Israel. That trade corridor, which was commenced, which had commenced with great kind of hype, whether they will reignite that. And then, of course, the trade and security alignment, whether they would go together, because Japan is again is a bridge here. Australia is also a bridge. So whether India, Australia, US, Japan, with the Japanese Prime Minister, former protege of Shinzo Abe, whether that relationship will be reenacted. So resurrected. I believe Korea will also come into the picture, which has thus far sat outside. So Korea will come in, and all this is expected as a result of this congenial person whom Trump has nominated to be the conduit sitting in India. Next. Okay, in the swearing-in ceremony that happened less than a few days ago, there were more than 80 representatives from the US present government. That's a reflection of the amount of goodwill and support that Sergio Gor enjoys within the party and administration. It also reaffirms that he's a people's man, his ability to kind of touch and reach people, which is why he was also in the campaign side of President Trump. Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, describes him as an incredible connector of people, and he praises his commitment and energy. And he further goes on to say, that India is a country of 1.5 billion people, and it's crucial in terms of the strategic partnership between the two democracies. And then what does Sergio Gor say? Sergio Gor says he's very excited. Next slide. Gor expected, so what he's very excited. I'm very, very much looking forward being in India. He loves Indian food, culture, and hospitality. Is optimistic about closure to the trade negotiations. And he himself, in his words, that India is making a rapid progress in terms of the negotiations from the impasse that it has had due to two tickling issues. And those issues seems to be receding to the background, most notably Russian oil. Okay, so we're all excited, and I believe that a positive change is likely to happen, but we will know in the next 90 days, how this will take shape. But I have a positive disposition towards his appointment, as well as India-US relationships.
Thank you so much, sir. One of the important things here is, we know that there were some off-the-cuff remarks, whether it was the Commerce Secretary or Peter Navarro and a few other people. I don't think they themselves wrote these things. Somebody gave a chit and said that this is what you should say, and yeah, let's bash up India. And somehow the thing about this is a cultural disconnect. India remembers these slights, and so there is a certain amount of emotional backlash that I think United States suffered. So somebody like Sergio Gor, who perhaps has origins from Central Asia, may understand these sensitivities a little bit better, and cut through the whole, like you said, cut through the clutter and establish a direct thing where it's a one-on-one. This is what Trump wants. This is what Modi wants. Can we agree or get something going? Because this relationship is far too important for the United States, more than India. Sergey, more and more revelations about how much of Chinese manufacturing is tied into the defense equipment manufacturing of US is coming out. People are shit scared, sir. The reason is 80 to 90%. 80 to 90% of every defense contractor is relying on Chinese components.
Well, it's quite amazing. There's two discoveries. One is this part of it and the consequences for United States. I think we touched on this, but we didn't deep dive. We may not deep dive in this show. We'll probably deep dive in another show. is some of the equipment coming into some of the what you call electronic components and materials coming from China somewhere were stamped as made in Korea. And they made its way into the airports. They made its way into through the ports. So all these kinds of deceptive designs that culminated in the trade, has now been picked up by United States. So they do recognize that this has to be fixed. But one important data point: India's exports on mobile phones continues to rise to United States. It has not kind of diminished. It continues to rise. There's a significant amount of Fortune 500 companies located in India, and we're well employed. There's no kind of what you call rationalization of the staff, which is happening in United States in the same companies, like whether it's Amazon or Google, Alphabet, or whether it is Apple, or whether it is Alphabet, and so on and so forth. It's not happening in India. That's one. And the investments continue to flow. Remember, Google has deployed one of its largest data centers in India. So there is a big effort in maybe making India one of the geolocation centers. I mean, Google is not going to be reliant on just one location, but it's going to be few locations. We'll cover that again in a separate story in terms of how these communication cables and how the infrastructure is going to play a pivotal role in supply chain management. But that's again a separate topic and a separate day. But for all of these things, India has a very important role to play in support of both security and management of supply chain strategy. We have to talk about the pharmaceutical and chemical domains as well, but we'll leave it. So hence, you have an important man at the helm being sent in a clear message to the world and to India.
Thank you so much, sir. We have a couple of announcements, viewers. So we're going to wear our dharmic caps now. First, Sridhar ji, you have been, at the top of this initiative. You've been one of the key persons trying to 𝗤𝗢𝗏 𝗏 Foundation. Talk to us a little bit about this, sir, and how this is now touring much of the world. You can talk us through the dates and how it's important for those people living in those cities to get connected. Over to you, sir.
Great, thank you. 𝗤𝗏 𝗏 is a foundation, is a non-profit established under the auspices of. It started as an independent charitable trust, but it's now operating fully under the auspices of 𝗥𝗘𝗏𝗏 𝗔𝗠𝗏 𝗟𝗑𝗏 𝗏𝗏. Slide 1, please. Okay, it is basically located in Sringeri, India, with uses a number of centers both in India and overseas. And what's its mission? Its mission is to spread the timeless wisdom of Sanatana Dharma and Advaita Vedanta through in-person and online programs. Is obviously we've been speaking about why we need to carry this message, how important and relevant it is, within the context of the amount of bashing that takes place both against Sanatana Dharma and on the Advaita Vedanta. I'm not suggesting that everybody, those who want to, there are many facets of Indian philosophy. We are talking about Advaita Vedanta through these efforts. So there are short-term programs, then there's online programs, then there are in-person programs in various locations. So this is the structure of the format. Many eminent scholars have been assembled to construct these programs. Young vidwans who are PhDs and proficient in our Shastras and Vedanta, and who also do this as their daily profession. They teach in universities, they teach in various institutions, they visit and also give lectures in overseas institutions. Is the mechanism or is the framework that is used by 𝗤𝗏 𝗏 to advocate and propagate the Advaita Vedanta and the mission of Adi Shankara. Next slide. Okay, Thus far, it started in 2020. It became a more established unit in 2023. It is, as I mentioned, it's located in Sringeri. It's not restricted to adults or elders or knowledgeable. It is the word that is used is seekers, those who want to seek and pursue these Vedanta programs, and those who want to also empower their kids. Self-learning for adults who are not equipped to respond to many of the questions that the children pose. All of these people can attend, so we call them as the seekers. So besides Gita, besides Vedanta, and also for school children, there are courses conducted in specific venues under Samskara Sudha, right? So, and in 10 languages, it's not one language, it's now spreading to multiple languages: Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, and so on. Some of the even northeastern languages, these programs have been conducted. So there's also podcasts, there's also short reels. So all the techniques that today people use to consume content, the 𝗓𝗏𝗡𝗏 team has done. Many of them are young volunteers who are between 30 to 45. Quite a few of them have onboarded themselves as volunteers to perform various tasks. Quite a few of them have left their jobs, and they probably take 30%, 40%, 50% cuts, and are full-time employed by 𝗓𝗏𝗡𝗏 Foundation and funded by 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗏 𝗫𝗫𝗃𝗃 𝗟𝗑𝗡 Peetham. All these programs are offered free, and so there is no charge. It's only what we call 𝗤𝗏𝗃𝗃, and more than several 100 programs have been conducted, both India and overseas. Now we will do an Indian version, which is namely to say what are the various cities, but we just wanted to show some of these cities in both in United States and Australia. It got completed in Germany most recently. It got completed in UK. The program wrapped up in Singapore on November 2nd. So there's a number of places these programs are being held. So we are showing you today, if you happen to be in this city, you want to attend the program, you can do so. Next slide. So there is a retreat in Perth, as far as Perth, on 16th of November. It happens between 5 and 9 p.m. The topic is around, introduction to Vedanta and practical Vedanta as it is relevant to your lives. It is going to be held in Linwood in the specific hall that is there, and we will share the link to you. If you are interested in attending, you can do so. It's 5 to 9 p.m. if you happen to be in Perth. Next slide. Then the program shifts to Sydney to 22nd and 23rd. It's a 1 and 2 days event, and it is on what we call the Prakarana Grantha, composed or written by Adi Shankaracharya, and the topic is 𝗣𝗽𝗍𝒍. So you can look at various aspects of what the Adi Shankaracharya has covered. Many commentaries have been written. So both in Sydney and Melbourne, 𝗣𝗽𝗍𝒍 would be covered. And the next slide. The Melbourne Melbourne I'll come to. Canberra will be on, again, 2 evenings. It is going to be held in the Hindu temple in Flory in Canberra, and this is on Sundarakandam. So it will be over 2 sessions, 6 to 9 p.m. And if you happen to be in Canberra, then please do make it a point to attend it if you have time. Next is Melbourne. And we have 2 prominent scholars. One is Dr. Vishwanath, and the other is Dr. 𝗪𝗓𝗍𝗪 Pujari. Dr. 𝗪𝗓𝗍𝗪 Pujari teaches in Calicut. Dr. Vishwanath ji, who has done his PhD in Valmiki Ramayana from Banaras Hindu University, he advises, consults, and does a lot of work, including on Jyotisha Shastra. And so both these Vidwans are very well trained. They conduct these sessions in a very typical academic kind of format, Q&A, interventions, and in the presentation style, very much like an academic teaching. So these are the 2 Vidwans who are touring Australia, and they will be in Perth, they will be in Sydney, they will be in Melbourne, and they'll be in Canberra. There's programs that just concluded in the United States. Next slide. And we have still 2 programs left. The program that is simultaneously happening on 15th and 16th in Tampa, that is also going to be, and you have a very prominent person by name Professor Mahadevan. Professor Mahadevan is from IIM Bangalore. He's very well known, and he extensively teaches on Bhagavad Gita. And then, of course, another young Vidwan, Dr. Shankar Ramanji. So these 2 people would be covering United States, what is the residual part of what is left in Tampa. They just finished in Detroit, they finished in DC, they finished in Boston, and now they finished in Atlanta. Many of these programs has spurred up a lot of interest. The attendance range from 150 to 200 people attending these programs, which is a very big number for 1.5 days or 2 days for people to come and spend. Definitely generating interest in people trying to seek, learn, understand, and assimilate. Finally, in Houston, that's on 22nd and 23rd of November, which is the next weekend, the program concludes. And that'll be at the Sharda Temple in SVBF South. The Tampa program will be in the Hindu temple in Tampa. Okay. So I just wanted to share this perspective, and those who have dharmic interest and those who want to follow Advaita Vedanta, try to follow Aham Brahmasmi Foundation. And if it happens to be in a city near you, see if you can make it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And viewers, this will be available in the community tab of PGurus channel. So you can get the specific details of where the exact thing is happening, because we went through a lot of slides. Also, viewers, I have a special deal going. If you buy 10 Sengols in the United States, I'm going to give you this Ganesha free. This will be shipped along with the 10 Sengols. And this is a completely laser crafted item. And it's a beautiful, beautiful Ganesha. And I'm just trying to promote the use of Sengol. Those of you who would like to, buy together with 3 or 4 friends, get me one address, buy 10 Sengols, and I'll ship this thing to free. I have few like this. I will keep making these offers once in a while. So jump on this opportunity for people who live in the United States. Thank you so much, sir. We have a lot more to look forward to from Sergio Gor. And he's not just here. He's got a second role also, ambassador to something. I saw that, where he's kind of overlooking a lot of other things. He needs to have his mind clear and good set of advisors, because he's not going to be able to go through every little thing. And let's hope that sanity comes in. Certainly, India is a very important partner for the United States, especially in what they are up against China. I can't emphasize this enough. Thank you so much, Sridhar ji, and we'll see you again very soon. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Any questions, Sriji? No.
One question. Hold on. Let's just one question. Just 1 second. Yeah. No, it's actually just an acknowledgement. Thank you, Raghuram, for becoming a member. Today, what happened was we did not get notifications out, and I don't know why these things happen once in a while. Also, Sergio Gor is a special envoy for South and Central Asia. My editor suggests me. So that is his role. He has a lot of things he's wearing a lot of hats, and let's hope that this is going to be something very constructive between the 2 countries. Thank you once again, sir. We have no other questions.
Namaskar ji. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.